Let's go! Adrenaline! Adrenaline! Running through my veins! Hello, I'm Robin Banks, and welcome to the British Heart Foundation Formula X1X Championship 2022. The championship composes of 10 rounds, 5 teams of 2 and 6 solo drivers, and with all 16 fighting for the prestige of the top spot, this will be a very entertaining season. Being a Formula 19 championship, this leads the way to a very fast and exhilarating competition. As always, we are raising awareness for the British Heart Foundation by wearing the charity logo on all the cars on track. The charity started a very long time ago and is now in its 62nd year. It has provided and is still providing funding for research on many different problems of the heart, saving countless lives in the process, and is very close to home indeed. Autodromo do Interlagos, the premier circuit of Brazil in South America, loved by the legendary driver Ayrton Senna. This is a rare counterclockwise track. It has a mix of long high G corners as well as a tight infield section. Because you need both stability for the high-speed corners and the tuning performance for the low speed, it is a tough track for drivers. This is a track where your skill improvements will clearly show in your lap time. In round 2, we're off to the WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna, Seca. This circuit, situated 100 kilometers south of San Jose in the heart of Silicon Valley in Northern California. A technical circuit made up of mid-low speed corners, it is encircled by desert, so grip could be an issue as the surrounding sand often blows onto the track. Therefore, drivers need to be able to maintain precise control over their speed at all times, as any errors in estimation will result in them going off track and result in a crash. Its dynamic elevation changes are shaped by the landscape and are a signature of the circuit, with the famed 15-meter downhill plunging corkscrew its highlight. Round 3 of the circuit to Barcelona, Catalunya. The Catalunya circuit opened in 1991 in line with the hosting of the Barcelona Olympics and is located approximately 30 kilometers north of Barcelona, Spain. This is one of Spain's leading tracks and host to the Grand Prix of Spain. With a long straight and a large variety of corners, the setting of the car can greatly affect the lap times. For this reason, it is often used as a test track. The braking into turn 1 from the slightly descending home straight is a great spot for overtaking. Round 4 of the Brands Hatch circuit in Kent, England, has been the stage for the Formula 1 in the past, but today hosts the touring car races at the British F3 Championship. This beautiful track cuts into a forest and known for its steep ups and downs, and because the structures of the corners are relatively simple, it is enjoyable for both beginner and expert drivers. There's also the short Indy course, which is a big favourite for the bangers and bash round. Round 5 at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. This green circuit is located northwest of Graz, an old city in Austria. Based on the Ring, first constructed in 1969, it was also called the A-Ring from 1997 to 2020. A high-speed circuit combining sharp, tight corners and long, flat-out sections. And while the course layout appears simple, the circuit is located in a hilly area, creating large ascents and descents. This makes the track much more difficult than it seems at first glance. The skill of the driver will greatly affect the lap times on this track, and there's sure to be a huge pile of tear-off underpants, as it can be scary. Round 6, and we're off to the Nürburgring GP in Germany. It was built to meet the highest safety standards, however, it was considered a mere shadow of its older sibling. Fans had to sit much further away from the track and called it the Eiffel Ring, believing it did not deserve to be called the Nürburgring. But both Mark Webber and Lewis Hamilton said they liked the track and described it as an old-school layout. It's a beautiful little circuit for us to drive on, and I think all the guys enjoy driving here, said Lewis Hamilton. It's a fantastic circuit, one of the classics, and it hasn't lost that feel of an old classic circuit. In round 7, we're off to the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Located 40k southeast of Liège, eastern Belgium's industrial city. This is a high-speed technical circuit that has hosted everything from F1 to endurance races over the years. and the 7-kilometer-long track utilizes the mountainous environment of its location and its many ups and downs. For this reason, the track is the very definition of dynamic, including many famous turns such as the high-speed uphill corner Eau Rouge and the ultra-high-speed left-hander Blanchemont. In round 8, we're off to Italy and the legendary Monza track. A famed circuit located in the beautiful green National Monza Park on the outskirts of Milano. Completed in 1922, this is the third oldest circuit in the world after Brooklands and Indianapolis. While it originally incorporated a high-banked oval section, today it is a high-speed track with a combination of chicanes and consecutive corners, connected by a long straight that will really challenge the top-end speed of the cars. In round 9, the penultimate round, we're off to the Fuji Speedway in Japan. Being Japan's famed high-speed circuit at the foot of the Grand Mount Fuji. Since its opening in 1961, many big events have been hosted here, and a countless number of famous battles have taken place on its tarmac. Following Fuji's famed 1.5k straight, the first half is a high-speed section combining mid to high-speed corners, and the latter half is a technical section on an incline. Because the characteristics of the track is very different from its first half to the latter half, the setup here is very, very important indeed. In the final round, we stay in Japan and we are off to the famed Suzuka circuit. This has been the stage for many memorable moments in racing and was actually built before there were highways in Japan. It is one of the very few circuits in the world with a figure-8 layout and an overpass. With many unique corners on the track, it is one of the favourites for many top drivers around the world and is a perfect fit for the final of the X1X Championship. So let's take a closer look at the teams and drivers. In alphabetical order, first up is Team Alien. Wyatt's transformation is complete. The probe has been delivered to its new host via the tradesman's entrance, and Wyatt Earp now has that distinctive Punterino limb. He has changed his name by default and is now known as Gandalf Punterino the Haste. Famous for his quick disappearing act when it's his round at the bar, it is rumoured he has titanium nipples and can blow smoke out of every orifice bar one. But that is just a rumour, but he can with ease put a fruit pastel in his mouth without chewing it. Gandalf says he now feels like a new pot plant, unwatered and droopy, but hopefully things will get back to their usual plumpness, ready for the long season ahead. Carlos was almost perfect last season. Soon they will be installing his new probe, as there seems to be some unusual growth on the latter, causing him to tilt slightly forward. They are hoping the new one should give him the edge he needs, as the other one was way too sharp and making entry and exit more and more awkward. Next up is the British Racing Team. Due to a very unfortunate speech defect and an extremely heated argument with the logo guy from Logos Aren't Us at Brown's Bend in Kent, the British Racing Team was born. Out of the ashes comes Archie Angelo, who some say was touched by the hand of Hermes. But due to how long it took Archie to learn the highway code, this is no longer classed as legend, but similar to what fires out of the arse end of a bull. Alex Anders is now a team manager and looking forward to the challenge ahead, armed with his new mechanic Roger Wellington and his personal trainer Wadwick Robertson. He believes he has a shot at the title, and together with Archie by his side could very well take the team championship too. Next in the firing line is Team Kawasaki. Rising from the ashes of Team Rizzler comes Team Kawasaki. Rico Mortis and Simon Bouquet continue their comradeship in an all-new chapter. After the new engine designed by Hans-Olof Furberger and his team was labelled an accident waiting to happen, Rico and Simon decided to go back to the old school and have a normal engine instead of the infamous strap-on. Rico's collaboration with Wile E. Coyote also ended in disaster, and all communication has now ceased. In a desperate attempt at another championship victory that will really test the bond between Simon and Rico. Saturday has given Simon an ultimatum, threatening Bouquet with limited thrashings, no hot water bottles, and definitely no more happy time unless he wins the race. The pressure is on. Next up is Team Kianus Sudoko. After winning the BHF Podium GT3 Championship, the Simitic team owners decide to do a Nico Rosberg. Too afraid of losing the upcoming BHF Formula X1X Championship, the team owners decided to sell up. Newcomers Kianus Sudoko were the successful bidders and quickly moved to secure Brian Messiah and Halen Manetti as their drivers. Brian and Halen have a long history together, and the new owners felt they should continue this long-time pairing. Hedging their bets, they have ordered a mountain of gold stars should Halen do well in the championship, but waiting in the wings, however, is Brian's mum. Should Halen underperform or outperform double champion Brian, the bespectacled 75-year-old pensioner will likely be called up. Team Simitic's other drivers, Damon Puntorino and Lydia Champagne, have been rumoured to have begun working for Kellogg's, making prospects. Also, they have both been forced to change their names to Tony and Tony, respectively. And last but not least is Team Tiger. After the takeover of the Simitic team, Damon and Lydia knew their days were numbered, as the CEO of the Kianus company, or whatever they're called, was a high-profile victim of the infamous Pierre the Cat, and had unwanted sexual advances rebuffed by a furious Lydia via a swift kick to the nuts. Both won court cases for unfair dismissal and sexual harassment respectively, and a combined total of $3.6 million in compensation. Damon decided to buy 2 X1X cars with his half of the money, whilst Lydia got utterly wasted and bought 2 Tiger Cubs from dodgy Chinese businesswoman Zi Suk-yu, and in her infinite drunken wisdom decided to dye the orange bits pink. Damon liked them so much that he painted the cars the same colour. And filling out the rest of the grid, we have Fabio Dotrelli, Artie Fenati, Stuart Leboeuf, Ken Block, Greg Rocket and Scott Milano, all going solo for the driver's title. We wish them the very best of luck. That's the teams and drivers making the grid once again packed with exceptional talent. And now a final word. We wish all the drivers and their teams the very best of luck. Remember, we are supporting a very worthy cause by hosting this championship. Let's take it seriously whilst having fun at the same time. Don't stress. If an accident happens, pick yourself up, dust yourself off and get going. Remember, all points collected are valuable, no matter how small. You are racing for the British Heart Foundation, your team, and yourself. And always, as the Limp Bizkit says, keep rolling, 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 rolling. See you on the 3rd of July for what promises to be the start of an awesome competition. Thanks for watching, folks. Take care, and goodbye.